Hello friends, welcome back to another session of Docker networking. In our last session, we are done with the introduction part of Docker network. Uh, we have seen some of the networking related terminology like node, ethernet, LAN, MAN, WAN, router, switch, DNS, gateway, subnet. And along with that we also done uh, the network drivers in supported in Docker. So these are the network driver types: bridge network, overlay network, copy them, IP VLAN network, MAC VLAN network, host network, and null. Here bridge network and overlay network is important for us. IP VLAN and MAC VLAN is used for legacy application. Bridge network is used for single host. If you are deploying your applications in your single host, then bridge network you can use, and by default your Docker is using bridge network. You no need to worry about that. But if you want to deploy your application across the cluster, we will see what is cluster in our upcoming sessions also. So if you want to deploy on the cluster, like cluster is nothing but it's a set of computers. More than one computer will be there, and you have to deploy the application across the multiple nodes. Nodes is nothing but the computer here. Okay. For that purpose, overlay is used. Bridge is the default for single host. For multi-host, overlay is used. IP VLAN and MAC VLAN is used for legacy application, where IP VLAN is based on IP address, but MAC VLAN is based on MAC address of the node, and mostly this is not supported because of a security reason. No network is exposing the machine MAC address, but IP VLAN is used purely based on the IP address only. Okay, host, just the IP address of the host will be assigned to the container. If it is a 1 container or 10 container, same host will be assigned to the container, that is a host. Null means there is no IP. It is just a straight one IP address, that is your host machine IP address, and all will not have any other IP. It will treated like as a similar machines only. That's it. So these are not important. Important is bridge and overlay. Bridge is for single host. Overlay is for multi-host. Okay, so these all we have done in our last session. The default one for single host, we have seen this diagram also. This in this machine 4 containers are there, and these containers will communicate through a bridge network only. Downside, if you see, there is a bridge network. If you use overlay, then overlay will be used to communicate across the cluster. Suppose this is a cluster of 2 nodes, 2 computers are there. In 2 computers, containers are running, and one container wants to communicate to another one, then they will use overlay network only. Okay, where IP VLAN and MAC VLAN is for legacy application. Directly using IP VLAN or MAC VLAN network, your container will communicate to the host directly, because legacy application is directly running on the host machine. There is no container in that machine. Host network, same host will be assigned to the container of the Docker. That's it. That is a host. Null, there is no IP at all. Okay. So now we will manage the network in Docker, like how we can create the network, how we can delete the network, we can rename it, remove it, connect and disconnect. We will see all those first. Okay, fine. So first is the base command is to manage the network. The base command is docker network. So let me open the terminal and I will show you. Okay, so in our machine, this is our local machine currently. Upcoming sessions we will not do in our local, we will do on AWS. Because why we will choose AWS? Because we have to deploy application across the cluster. We have to create a cluster. Cluster is possible when we have a 2 or 3 machines, at least 2 machines, then only we can say it is a cluster. Single machine is a single host only, and it is a very expensive to create a cluster by physical server. Suppose what we can do otherwise we have to go to market, we have to buy some new system, 2 or 3 computers we will set up in our local home, then we will try. So that is very expensive, we cannot do at all. And even in the practical scenario, even in the real life scenario, if you work in a project or anywhere, that is also not feasible. They are not doing like that, they are not maintaining, they are taking computers on a rent from any cloud services such as AWS, Azure, Google Cloud, or any other clouds. They are giving that services. So just you take computers on a rent for how much time you want and then you return it back, that's it. Whatever the charges they are applying, that much only you have to pay. Okay, so that we will do in our upcoming sessions. Currently this session I think we can do here only, because just we have to see the network management commands only. Okay, so Docker network. First I want to see how many networks are there. Already. So what is the command? Docker network ls. ls means list. It will list the networks. How many networks are there currently? 4 networks are there, and these 3 networks are there. Bridge, host, null. You know what is the meaning of bridge? Bridge network is the default network. We have done this, we have learnt this one. Bridge is the default one. And what is the name of that bridge network? They are giving name also bridge. Driver type is a bridge, but name also they are giving as bridge, but you can give any other name, it's up to your choice. Whatever the default network is created by your Docker, the name itself is a bridge. Okay, fine. Host, that name is again host. Null, name is not null, none they are giving. None means there is no IP address at all. Okay, so like that we can list how many networks are available. These, and you cannot delete these 3 networks you cannot delete at all, because this is created by your Docker engine itself and required. Anyway, this host and none is not required, but they are creating, that's it. Default they are creating these 3, you cannot delete. Okay, but you can create your own and you can delete that one, no issue. Next one, Docker network create. Next is your create command. You have to create a network. Okay, so what is the command to create? Docker network create. So after create you have to give the name also. What should be the name? And you see here, from here you can understand, at least you have to specify 2 things. One is name and another one is a driver. If you don't specify driver, then what is the default driver? Suppose I created name. I just simply give the name my network, simply my network. So network is created. Yes, definitely if you list it, you will see my network, it's created. But what is the driver type? bridge. Bridge is the driver type. Default driver is a bridge. We have learned this one. Default, it is saying, see, these are these networks by default created by Docker, and what is bridge driver? Bridge driver is the default one. Bridge driver is a default one, but if you want to specify name explicitly also, you can do. Suppose my network 2 or my network 1, I am just giving another one, my network 2 driver bridge. That is also fine. If you list it again, you will see my network and my network 2. Two networks we have created, but the driver is a bridge. The driver type is bridge. Why? Because the default driver type is a bridge. For second one, I'm specifying the driver type explicitly. Driver is equals to bridge. You can see here like that. Docker network create driver name. Name is a bridge, and this is the name of the network. This name of network you can give after create also. Up to your choice how you want to give. Currently, if you see this example, Docker network create driver is equal to bridge. So create driver, create what? Create network of type driver bridge, of type driver bridge, and the name is my net1. Simply. Okay, and the name you can give before also, no issue. So here we are giving name before. See, Docker network create my network 2, and driver is this one, and name is my network 2. Similarly, if I copy paste here again, and I will show you, I will remove the name from here. You can give the name at last also, it will automatically taking. See, name I am giving hello net, hello hello net network. Simple. It's created. List again. You'll see here. My network type is a bridge. My network 2 type is a bridge. Hello network type is a bridge. If you are giving bridge driver type bridge, it's okay. If you don't give, also okay, because the default type is a bridge only. Okay, so like that you can create the browser. You can create the network. Next, you want to inspect the network. Suppose I want to inspect the network. So to inspect the network, what you need to do? Simply just you have to use Docker network inspect. That's it. Docker network inspect, and then you have to give the name. Docker network inspect, and then you have to give the name. So let's try Docker network inspect. Which network you want to inspect? You just give the name of that network. I want, or else you can give the ID also. It is not like that you should give name only. Either you give name or ID. I am giving my network hello network. I am giving hello network inspect. So what is the meaning of inspect here? You see here the name. It will give the full overall details of the network. Inspect means if you inspect the container, it will give the more detail of container. If you inspect the image, it will give more details of the image, something like that. If you inspect volume, it will give more details about the volumes. Similarly, if you inspect a network, it will give more details like name. This is the name of network hello. ID, this much is the ID. When it is created. What is the scope? Scope means local. No, scope means not local. Scope means where this driver can be used. So currently where it can be used only in your local machine. Local machine means nothing but a single host only. local means single host only. Okay, yes. Driver is type is bridge. Enable IPv6? No, IPv6 is not enabled because it's a single use, it's not enabled. Okay, IPM driver default option configure. So if you see the configuration, in this configuration, subnet and gateway, two main points are there, and as we have already discussed in our last session, what is subnet and what is gateway, we have done all this, I think. What is subnet and what is gateway? So subnet is the subset of network, you can say like that, and gateway is the main entry point of the network of the subnet. Okay, so currently if you see the subnet value, they are giving 172.0.0.1 172.20.0.1. This is the gateway IP address. That's the gateway IP address. And subnet, whatever the node will come in this network, that IP address will start from 172.20.0. After that one, some number will be there. It may be 1, 2, 3, and up to 16 it will change from here. 1, then again 60, then 2, again 60, something like that. So these many numbers you can give in this network. Nodes can be given. Okay. Internal, yeah, no, false. Attachable, ingress, ingress, false. Config from network, config only. Containers, how many containers are there in this network? Currently there is no network in this container. Options, labels. So these are the details. I want to configure the subnet and gateway. By default they are giving like that. If you want to configure, you can configure it. How? Suppose I am creating my network, create network driver bridge, test network, network, test network, and where I am just giving subnet values I am giving. Let me check exactly. I think exactly it will be like that only, but let me confirm once. Yes, I have to give like this. Subnet, gateway, exactly. We are following the same syntax. Yes, so if you want to modify, you can modify. Subnet, I want to start subnet from 10.20 simply, or not, or else leave it. I want to start from 50.40.0.016. This is my subnet. This is my subnet, and this is my gateway. Gateway IP address, you give any IP address from that is coming within this range. Give any IP. Mostly the first IP will be assigned to gateway. This is the first IP. 50.40.0.1 gateway. This is the gateway IP address, and subnet, this is the subnet. That's it. Press enter. Yes, it's created. Now list it. Docker network ls. So which one we have created? Test network. Yes, test network. Can you inspect this one? Yes. Inspect it. First I'm just clearing it. Now list it and now inspect. Docker network create the network by the driver type, by the customized gateway and subnet. Inspect, you have to just give the network name, or you can inspect by the network ID also. Suppose I'm inspecting, currently I am inspecting based on the name. I want to inspect on the ID, you can do that also. Yes, it's inspecting. Okay, clear. Any it is not like that only the network you can inspect on the basis of name. No, any Docker object like image, container, volume, network, any of them, if you want to inspect, you can use either ID or name. Some other, like suppose if you want to remove on the basis of ID, you can do. If you want to remove on the basis of name, you can do. So similarly, the operation you are doing, whatever the operation you are doing on the basis of name, you can do with the ID also. ID is more suitable than name, but anyway name also will be having unique. Two container cannot have a same name. It always should be unique only. So that's why either you will use ID, container ID, or you use container name. Both are same, you can use. Okay, fine, clear. Clear. Next, list of Docker. First, list network. Next, remove. Very simple. Docker network RM. That's it. You have to give either name or ID. Either name or ID. Okay, try it. Docker network remove. Which one I want to remove? I want to remove whatever I created. Others I cannot remove at all. It's removed. Now you list again. Hello network is not there, you see. Similarly, if you want to remove on the basis of ID, you can do that also. Suppose bridge my network, I want to remove on the basis of ID, you can do it. It's removed. Again you list. And if you want to remove multiple, you can do that also. How many are there now that I created? My network 2 and test network, still it's present. So my network 2 I am removing on the basis of ID. Copy and paste. And my test network I am removing on the basis of name. Paste it and it's present. What happened? Oh, sorry. My the Docker network remove RM. You have to tell what operation you want to do. Docker network, on Docker network, what operation you want to do? Remove operation. Okay, so it's removed. Both are removed. Okay, clear. And now list. Now only the 4 networks are there. Only the three default networks created by the Docker is there only. Fine. What happened? Next, prune. If you apply Docker network prune, what does it mean? All unused network will be removed. All unused network will be removed. Simple. Let's try. But we don't have any other network. Suppose yes, give it yes. So how many is removed? These are removed? No, because these are the default created, will not removed. I have to create one network. Let's create inspect create. Okay, let's create test network is created again. Now let's list it. Yeah, test network is created, bridge type. Now you apply prune command. Once you apply the prune command, all unused network will be removed. Type Y. Yes. Now you see deleted network. This one network is unused, to remove. Others are will anyway. This none commands are left. So ls we have seen, create, inspect, remove, prune. Next is connect and disconnect. Connect and disconnect. Okay, suppose I am creating one network. My web app network. Simply you can give this name, copy it, and so this one, yeah, okay, a command is also there. Docker network create. This network I want to create, the network name is my web app network. My web app network. Docker network create my web app network. Driver is a bridge. Create this first, then we will see how we can connect and disconnect. Copy it and paste it here. So one network is created. If you see here, docker ls, so one my web app network is there. Okay, we can connect container to network at the time of creating the object. Now when you can connect the container to the network at the time of creating the container. So you have to create the container, then only you can do. And suppose I want to create the container from this one. What is this? Tech hub, tech edu hub, my web app. This is the image. In our Docker hub repository, in our session of how to create the Docker hub account and push the image we have seen. So we have already pushed one image on our Docker hub repository. This is the name of that repository. So from that repository from that image I am creating container. And currently if you see how many images are there, currently there is only one image, that is a database image that I installed for learning. Leave it. But my web app image is not there at all. Okay, so first run command, what will do? Run command first will pull it, then it will create a container. And what will be the name of container? The name of container will be my web apps con container 1. And the port mapping I am doing this one. This is the port mapping. Okay, detached mode, I am running in detached mode. And here I am specifying the network name also. See, network, what should be the network name? And if we have also seen that the default network is a bridge. If you don't specify this network, currently what I will do, I will just copy it and run it. I will show you. Copy and don't give this network, at all. That's it. Give this much only. So what it is? Docker container run in detached mode with this port mapping. Name of this container will be this one, and from this image. That's it. Here we are not specifying any network. So what will be the okay, it is unable to find. So what it will do, it will pull from the Docker hub. Unable to find image in your locally. Tech hub my web app latest is not there in your local. It will pull from the, it is pulling from the Docker hub. Yeah, it's pulling successfully, and after pulling it has created the container also. Now if you see docker ps, so there is a one container that is up from 11 second. Now if you open your browser and if you access that application, localhost 4040. Yes, modified this application somewhat. Actually, this is telling the version of this application. What is the version of our application? Latest, name of our application, and some server information like container name. Host name is nothing but your container ID. Host name is nothing but the container ID. And IP address. What is the host IP address? Host IP address is this one. The host IP address is this one. And the host name. Host name is nothing but the container ID. Okay, you see what is it, that a container ID? Container ID is starting from 3D2839. So is it the same one? See here, is it the same one that it is displaying over there? Yes, it is the same one. 3D28394D4D30. And what is the IP address of this one? How can you see? You have to inspect this container. Docker container inspect, and you have to give the, either you give the container name or you give the container ID, is your choice. Here you see, here it is giving the full detail of the container. See, image, this is the image, and IP address also you can see here, it will be there, I think. Network, yes, IP address, this is the IP address 172.70.0.2 172.70.0.2 172.70.0.2, same one. Here just simply we are giving hello, welcome to Tech Hub. Please subscribe my YouTube channel. Show another page. Click on this one. It is just showing another page. Go home. So come on again. So this is our application. Okay, fine. So now you have connected to a network. Which network? Which network it is connected? Can you tell me what is the network? Bridge. You see here, network name is a bridge. It is connected by default. As you see how you started this container, created this container without any network name specification. You have not specified any network name, so by default it is picking bridge network. So that's why it's called bridge, is the default network. By default your Docker is creating bridge network with the name bridge only. Type is a bridge and name is also bridge. By default your Docker is creating, and by default for every container by default the network name is bridge only. Okay, fine. Now if you want to disconnect from this one, how can you do it? If you want to disconnect, how can you do it? Simple, very simple. So this way you can create this network and you can connect, or you can connect with this command also. Docker network connect, you have to give the network name and container name. Simple, network name and container name. Similarly, Docker container disconnect. So I am just disconnecting. Disconnecting what? I am disconnecting my container, this container. Either you use name or ID, doesn't matter. So I am using name. So this container, okay, let's do paste it here. So this network name you have to give here, bridge. So bridge, BRIDG. So from the bridge network I want to disconnect my web container 1. It's disconnected. If it is disconnected, you cannot access this application. It's also why? Because your container is not running on network now. Until and unless your system is not running on network, you cannot access it. It's understood. So it is removed from the network, from bridge network, from local network. It's removed. You cannot access it. But container is running. If you see docker ps, container is running, but there is no port, because port comes when there is a network in your machine. Whenever the network driver is installed or network driver is used, then only you have a port concept. That's why port is not there. Okay, fine. So now I want to connect with my own network, my other network. Which network? Docker network list. I want to connect with this network. How can I do? Very simple. Docker network connect with this network, connect with this network to this container, simple. That's it. Connected. Now it is connected. If you refresh your application is up and you can access here. This is the concept of network, how network works. Currently this is a bridge type network. Bridge type network will be accessible within your local machine only, single host. Bridge network is a type of what? It is a single host network driver. So that's why we are doing in our single machine. Okay, fine. Suppose I have created my network with my custom driver. Custom subnet and host. Can I do it? Yes, you can do it. Create the network. Then I am creating a network. Copy this. This time I am giving the network name is something. Clear it first. I am creating one more network. My network, not give my network. Network hello, network hello, simply hello network or network hello, or you give hello network, up to your choice what name you want to give, but simply I am just giving a random name, hello network. Here I am giving here subnet also. Subnet is 50.40.0.016. This is a subnet. And gateway is 50.40.0.1. So this network is created, and now you list Docker network list. Sorry, net network ls. Okay. So hello network is there. Type is bridge. We have created this one from this command. Now I want to add my container, my running container to hello network. How can I do it? First I have to disconnect. Docker network disconnect from which network? Currently on this network my container is running, so I have to disconnect from this network. So disconnect from this network to this container. This container has to be disconnected from connected to hello network. And if you see for hello network, now you observe IP address. You observe IP address is coming, before it was coming 172.20.0.1 or 2 or 3 something. It was starting from 172.20 something. This time IP address is starting from 50.40.0.2. How? Because we have customized our subnet and gateway. We have customized our subnet and gateway. Subnet is 50.40.0.0. so what does it mean? Whatever the container will be connected to this network, whatever container will be connected to hello network, in that case the IP address of the container will always start from 50.40. After 50.40 something will be there, like 50.40.0.1 or 0.2 or 1.0, 1.1, 1.2 something, but it will be started from 50.40. that is called subnet. Like inside a network, how many containers or node you can give the IP address, that is your subnet. Okay, fine. And if you want to disconnect from this one, you can very easily just do, instead of connect, you use disconnect. That's it, it is disconnected. Once it is disconnected, it is not accessible. I want to connect now. I want to connect this with which network? Any network, like you use my web app network. That's it. Okay, what happened? You have to connect, sorry, not disconnect, connect to my web app network. Yes, it's connected. If it is connected, you can access, and you see the IP address again came 172.20 because they have given. If you inspect this network, see, if you inspect this network, let's inspect this network. Docker network inspect this network, copy it and paste it. You see what is the subnet? 172.21. so it means the IP address will come within this network only, within this range only. So that's it's happening here. But if you inspect the other network, hello network, copy it and just paste it here, name only. So you see subnet and gateway we have customized, so within that one only it is coming, within that range only it is coming. Okay, that's it. So this is all about the managing of network in Docker. You can manage, you can create like that. And we also have done the example of bridge network. Bridge network is what, since we will just revise it once again. What is bridge network? Bridge is the default network and this is a single host network. So in single host we have one container in that one. Suppose if it is a more than one container in that one, then how it will be? Suppose currently, what I will do, one more thing we have to see here. Currently this network, it is coming from which one? Okay, what I will do, I will disconnect from here, clear it, and Docker network this command and create another container. Copy it and come here, paste it, and you can give the container name to C2. Okay. Oh, IP address. Or has this problem? Driver failed programming externally connectivity endpoint binding 40 failed. Okay, yes. So I'm just giving here IP address 4041. The port is 4041 and name network name is not my network web 10. Network name is this one. Paste it. This is the network. Hello network. Okay, and just enter. You have to remove it, rename that container. Okay, container name also you need to put. Container name we have given. Okay, let's see how many containers are there. Something like previously container is created, I think. Have to remove that one. Docker ps. Docker ps a. Okay, this container I think created only, but I have to remove this container. Docker remove it. It's removed. Okay, fine. Clear it. Now what you do, just simply copy this command and just do some small modification. What are that modification I will do here and you will see. So first is you have to give the container name to C2 and okay, leave it. Container 2 and network. The network is hello network. Hello network. Okay, it is created, but again this port 4040 is already allocated. You should not do it. You have to do it. Okay. Docker container remove this container, copy it and paste it. Okay, it is removed now. Yeah, I think this one only. This is the command. And now I will just give here 40 container name is C2, network is this one, and simply press enter. Now one more container is created. This is running at 4040. Next one that is running at 4041, and you see here you observe that difference. Copy this one and here you come. This is for 4041 and this is for 4040. For 4040, if you see what is the IP address, is 50.40.0.2, and for 4041 what is the IP address? IP address is 50.40.0.3. This is the use of subnet. This is the use of subnet. Okay. Fine. So we have understood how we can create the network, how we can see how many networks are there, how we can create, how we inspect, how we remove, how we can do prune, connect and disconnect. We can do it. Let's do inspect also once this network. Which network you want to inspect? Hello network I want to inspect. Okay, docker network inspect and give the name of the network. See, if you inspect this one, so this is okay, subnet and gateway, this is the subnet and gateway IP address. Here you see in the container, in this network, how many containers are running. In this container 2 containers are running. The name of the container is my web app container 2 and my web app container 1. For my web app container 1, the IP address is 50.40.0.2. Why 2? Because 50.40.0.1 is taken by your gateway. Gateway is there. Okay. And for my container 2, the IP address is 50.40.0.3 because 2 is taken by my web app container 1. So that my web app container is assigned to 2. If you create another container, suppose yeah, this is that command only. I'm just quickly I'm creating one more container 02. Again I have to remove that one. Okay, instead of removing, what I will do, I will just rename to 4 and give the IP address to 3 or give 4 only, that's it. Okay, and run it. Now it is okay. Now one more container came. If you see here, copy it and 404044. There is one more container. Why? Okay, yeah, it is there. 4040 is there. And for this one, IP address is 50.40.0.4. If you again inspect here, you will see here 4 IP address is 432, something like that. So this is the way how we can manage the network, and we have seen the usage of bridge network. Okay, fine. In the next session we will do communication between the container on Docker machine. Suppose in case of bridge network, by default we have a bridge network. In bridge network, suppose currently if you see how many containers are there, 3 containers are there. Can I ping from one container to another container? Is the communication is possible? Is the communication is possible between these 2 containers? Anyway, these 2 containers are treating like as a machine only. So you should be able to ping, you should be able to make a communication. Is it possible? Yes, it is possible. That we will see in our next session. That is nothing but the communication between the container and Docker machine. Docker machine you can do easily. Now the next lab, whatever we will do on AWS. Okay, we'll see in your next session. So I hope you like this session. Please subscribe my channel and we will see you in the next session. Till that, bye bye and have a nice day.